Okay guys, so quick little knowledge update about how this video is going. So it's currently Sunday. Early last week I went on ahead and filmed some about some of my reading updates, and that's gonna be this first video you see after this little introduction thing. And then a day or two ago I went on ahead and filmed my March TBR for you because I knew I was going to be super freaking tired, and I just wasn't sure if I was going to have the energy to do all that after getting off work Sunday morning. So I went on ahead and filmed that. So then you'll see that next. And then I came back today to film the rest of my updates for you about my ending of February, how many books I read for the month, anything else new I read for the month, which I don't think there wasn't anything else I didn't tell you about. But once I get this all made, and if there wasn't something I really talked about, I'll talk about it a little bit in my next video. I'll give a little side piece to that. But yeah, the last part of the video is just me talking about reading updates by the end of February. So you know what to look forward to in March. You see how my February ended. And oh god, I think I'm gonna sneeze. I think I'm good. Sorry guys. I'm like, the weather has fluctuated so much here, like warm, cold, like my sinuses don't know what's up. But yeah, so I just wanted to give you guys a little knowledge about why the video is gonna be kind of odd. So yeah, thanks for coming to my channel. Hi everyone. So today is Wednesday. I just wanted to give a short update so far for the week, because I will be working this weekend, and even though I'm gonna update some this weekend, I want to go on ahead and film some of my updates. I'm also going to go on ahead and film what my TBR for the month will be, so that is already done. So first, let's start with the updates we have so far. Okay, so on Sunday I updated you guys that I had started this and I was 33 pages in. Well, and I told you that I was going to read some more that day and possibly finish it. I did not read more of this Sunday, and I didn't finish it Sunday. I got really caught up in, I was watching something. I can't remember, but I got really caught up in watching it. So I just didn't really do any more reading that day, but I really did want to get back into it Monday, before I had to get some sleep before I went to work, because I was really excited about reading it, and it was really good and interesting, and I had the time, so I wanted to get it done before I had to go to work, and I did. So I did finish this Monday. I finished it kind of early in the day, and oh my god, it was so good. 5-star read right here, 5-star. I don't want to give too much away, but it did do some very nice flashbacks for one of the characters. Well, I guess 2 of the characters, and it really gave you that sense of what happened before. Like in the first book, it mentions things vaguely. So those flashbacks really gave that, what is happening? Like, how did this relationship evolve? Like, why is this, you know, like, so that was really good, and it labels it clearly, so not to be confused. It was so good. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. The relationship between two of the characters, you know, you think it's going to be bad, and it was at first, and then there was more of like an understanding, and then the other two characters, I know I'm being really vague right now, but I just don't want to give like too much away in case you guys want to read it. But if you would like to know more, hit it on a comment and I'll see if I can talk to you about it, you know, if you want to talk about it. But so good, so good. Would totally recommend. Okay, so yes. Next, I have listened to more of Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. I am now 25% of the way in. I kind of guessed last time on my update on Sunday that I was about 20% of the way in, and I was almost right. I was 19%. And so I listened to some going into work the other night, and I listened to like one other chapter, and so now I'm 25% of the way in, and honestly I don't know if I'm gonna finish it by this weekend, but I am going to try. It's not that it's not interesting, I just don't know what it is about the book. Because it is interesting, but maybe since it's not something I usually read about, maybe I would have been more interested if I was reading like a physical copy, but listening to it on audio is so-so. I mean, I do enjoy that there are different voice actors for the three characters, and they give the character an accent, so it really makes you feel like you're listening to that character and, you know, not somebody just reading it. So I really enjoy that, but I guess the plots of the book, I'm really interested in one of the characters to know more, and I'm not so interested in one of the other characters it's talking about, and we haven't heard really that much about our third character, so I'm looking forward to hearing more about her. But yeah, it's going. I'm gonna listen to some more today, but yeah, that's how that's going right now. And let's see, I was starting and was a couple of chapters in to The Christmas Tree Farm by Lori Gilmore, which is the third book in the Dream Harbor series. I did finish that like really early this morning, I guess you could say during the night, before I had to start working again. Well, I wasn't really on a break, I just had downtime before I had to start, you know, doing my job this morning. Anyway, I finished that. It was good. I actually really liked it. You know, I would say it's a solid 3.5 star, maybe 3.75 read for me. I definitely liked it a lot better than the other two. The female main character, I liked her. I liked the male main character. I just really feel like now that those other two books are out of the way, and the fact that this one went really well for me, and I, you know, read it more at a normal pace that I would read a book, that I'm hoping the rest of the series is just going up. And at the end of it, it had a chapter preview into the next book, which I do have. So I kind of want to start reading that next, which is the Strawberry Pancake House, I think. Yeah, the Strawberry Pancake House, something like that. It's the 4th book. But yeah, 3rd book, really great. Finished it. And then I started, also, once I finished that, I still had some time before I really had to start doing anything for work this morning. So I started reading The Secret Garden. I'm liking it so far. Okay, so when I started reading it and I like finished the first chapter, which is just a couple of pages, I think it was like 3 or 4 pages, I was like, okay, is this really a children's book? Like, this is supposed to be like a children's novel. Like, is this really? Because, like, I don't know, the way that the characters were being described and the topics that had come up in just the first chapter, I was like, whoa. Like, whoa. Like, I mean, it's nothing like super crazy, but it mentions cholera and people dying and like attitudes of people and just like characteristics of some of the characters that are in that first chapter. And it's like, whoa, like, how is this like a children's book? I don't know. It was just something about the way the chapter was. It made me think, what? Let me look this up. And then I Googled it, and yeah, it's a children's novel which delves into themes of oh, what was it? It was like healing, like self-growth, not empowerment, but you know, just like the changes, not puberty, but like how people change from children as they get older, and like health. And anyway, I am now, hold on. Yeah, let me just keep going and not get stuck. I am now on chapter 3, which is page 18. You know, I read the first 2 chapters pretty easily and got through them pretty easily, and I'm definitely interested in like keep going and reading. So before I crash sometime this afternoon, I will be reading more in this. I would like to start the book 4 in the Dream Harbor series, and I know I still have 2 other books on my TBR, and I haven't read any more in Cows. I didn't even take that book to work with me. I took this one, and I actually took, hold on, I can't remember the way the words are in the title. Let me grab it. Okay. I took Done and Dusted, which is the first book in the Rebel Blue Ranch series by Lia Sage. Honestly, so I took these 2 to work with me, and I knew I wanted to finish the Dream Harbor book, so I was reading that a little bit. And I thought, you know, that maybe I would start this one right away and that I would get a pretty good amount into it, and that if I was really so interested in it and finished it, that I would just have something, you know, fun and like good-hearted to read. I think this one is actually Brother's Best Friend. Yes, Brother's Best Friend romance. So I knew that this would be like a fun, you know, romance, probably mostly easygoing, and it's just something more of what I normally read. So I took it with me, in case I like really got through this book or like finished it or whatever. But honestly, I wanted to finish reading the third book in the Dream Harbor series before I started reading this. So I didn't start reading this. And I'm gonna save it. You know, if I have time here in the next week or so, I'll read it, or maybe it'll end up being on my March TBR. I don't know. We've got to pick it. But yeah. So I'm ready to start chapter 3 in this. And then I just have Caught Up by Navessa Allen and Calabasas by R.F. Kuang to finish. So, you know, even though I've really only finished one in the TBR, and I'm only a few chapters into that one, a few chapters into that one, and a few chapters into my audiobook, I really am, you know, feeling motivated today to really get through some of this. So I think today is gonna end up being like a reading binge day. So yeah, real quick, that is all my reading updates for right now as of Wednesday. I do plan to have more by Friday and Saturday, so don't worry about that. But let's go on ahead and transition into picking out my February TBR. Oh my gosh, it just said February. My March TBR. And we'll go on ahead and get that filmed, and then I don't have to worry about it later. Okay. Okay, so March TBR. Okay, I don't know why I did that. Okay, so what we're going to start with first on my TBR, we're going to go on ahead and go over what my book club is doing. Here we are. So, my book club, the read theme for March was TBR Veteran. So the 3 books that got the most hits on the poll that the club did was The Keeper of the Night by Kylie Lee Baker, which I don't remember what that's about, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab, and Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco. Anyway, and let's see. The book that won was The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab, and I already read that book. And I read the physical copy. I have the physical copy sitting over on my desk. So I may do a reread for that, but I actually read it pretty recently. I think I finished reading it in like October or November. I'd have to look back at my reading journal from last year to be sure, but I'm pretty sure I read it at the end of the year. I don't think it was December. I think I finished it before December. But it was really good. I really liked it. The ending, but I may do a reread just to refresh it before we have our book club meeting about it, which obviously won't be for a month, but okay. And then the book that got second place, the one I voted for, was Kingdom of the Wicked. So sad that that got second runner up. And then obviously The Keeper of the Night came in third. So since I've already read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab, I am going to be focusing on Kingdom of the Wicked. And Lord have mercy, my brain is going like a million miles an hour this morning. So yeah, I'm going to be focusing on Kingdom of the Wicked. Okay, so yes, my first official book of the March TBR is Kingdom of the Wicked, which I'm super excited about, because if you watched my video for last month's TBR, or not last month's, this month's TBR, February, I was I picked out 5 different books that I really wanted to read, and this was one of them, but Caught Up by Nevessa Allen won, so I'm really excited to start reading this, and I will. This is going to be one of the first ones I read. Okay, so now let's move into my challenges and such from my reading journal. Oh, okay, I can't keep sitting on my foot like that. I'm old, you guys. Not really, but I feel it sometimes. But yes, like I was saying, The Legend of the Nine-Tailed Fox and Now Back to You just released yesterday. I also know that I'm going to need to buy my book for my jellyfish challenge, so looks like I'm gonna go online after this and buy some books. Okay, so the book for my jellyfish challenge, let me look it up so I can tell you guys what it's about. I mean, I looked it up when I picked it, but I can't remember what it's about. For March, for my jellyfish challenge, I picked the sea nettle jellyfish, which is known for its vibrant colors and being venomous. Now, since my jellyfish for January was also known for being venomous, and I picked something with venom in the title, for this one, I decided to go for something vibrant. And so I basically looked up vibrant book covers, and looked at a bunch, and then I came across this cover, and I thought it was really pretty, and well, it was vibrant. It's colorful, and it's called The Ensemble by Aja Gabel. It's a novel. It is also a debut novel about 4 young musicians, Britt, Daniel, Henry, and Jana, who form the Van Ness String Quartet, exploring their intense friendship, ambition, and love as they navigate the cutthroat world of classical music over a decade and a half. The story follows their shared journey through success, failure, heartbreak, and loyalty, examining their complex relationships with each other and their art through multiple perspectives. See, it explores friendship, ambition, love, loss, and the sacrifices made for art, all set against the backdrop of the classical musical world. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It sounded really interesting. The cover was interesting, so that's what I picked for March, and that is something I'm gonna need to add to my cart, like I said. So The Ensemble is my second book for my TBR, and then we get to pick 2 books from my reading bucket list. We've got the jar. Well, it's not really a jar. It's a takeout container. Well, you know, oh, wow, okay. Anyway, let's pick out a number. Oh, I had one and then I dropped it. Is that upside down? Oh, no. Well, I guess it could be upside down or not. 1. Oh, it would do this to me. Number 1 is 1,000+ pages. Okay. I actually don't think I have a book that's 1,000+ pages. I mean, I can check and see how many pages are in When the Moon Hatched by Sarah Parker, because I do have that in a physical copy, but I don't think it's 1,000. Yeah, it's not 1,000. Right here I came to the back and already this is just 650. So, not 1,000 pages. Yeah, I don't think I actually have a physical book that's 1,000 pages. Let me look back to here again. No, all of those books, there are a few books that are chunkier, but I know they're not 1,000 pages. And none of those books over there are 1,000 pages. Ooh, okay. That means I need to go on the hunt for a 1,000+ page book. Marvelous. That'll be added to my shopping list. Okay, well, I'm gonna take a minute and look up a book that matches that description. And I'm probably gonna cut out the next probably minute or so while I do that, and then you'll come back and see me touting about a book I'm gonna buy. Well, I could start my Brandon Sanderson journey and read The Way of Kings, the first book in the Stormlight Archive. I don't know. Let me keep looking. Oh, Under the Dome by Stephen King. Didn't they start making that into a TV series and then it get canceled? Yeah, Under the Dome is the story of the small town in Chester's Mill, Maine, which is inexplicably and suddenly sealed off from the rest of the world by an invisible force field. No one can get in and no one can get out. When food and electricity and water run short, the normal rules of society are changed. A new and more sinister social order develops. Dale Barbara, a young Iraq veteran, teams up with a handful of intrepid citizens to fight against the corruption that is sweeping through the town and to try to discover the source of the dome before it's too late. It's got 1,074 pages. You know, actually, I thought the premise of the TV show, and I even watched a few episodes of it, was like super interesting. I didn't realize it was done after a Stephen King novel. Huh. I think that'll be my third pick. Under the Dome by Stephen King. There's another book to buy. Okay, hold on. Let me just go to my Barnes & Noble page and add the 2 books that I definitely need so that I don't forget. You know what's really interesting? I'm adding The Ensemble by Aja Gabel into my cart, right? And I just noticed that at the top of the screen it says my closest pickup store is Johnson City, Tennessee. So I guess if I wanted to go to Barnes & Noble, I could just go to Johnson City, which is still like over an hour away. Let me pick another one. What is that? Oh, I had it upside down. Okay, 25. What is 25? A memoir. Intrigue. Okie dokie. I don't know, you know. I've never read a memoir before. None of these just sound that interesting. Okay, interesting. Actually, I think I'm going to read this. This sounds really interesting. It's Awake by Jen Hatmaker. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of this. It was published in September of 2025. It says at 2:30 a.m. on July 11th, 2020, Jen Hatmaker awoke to her husband of 26 years, Brandon, carrying on a whispered phone conversation with another woman from their bed. It was the end of life as she knew it. In the months that followed, she went from being a shiny, funny, popular leader to a divorced wreck on antidepressants and anti-anxiety medication, parenting 5 kids alone with no clue about her own bank accounts, having led millions of women for over a decade, urging them to embrace authenticity, find radical agency, and create healthy relationships. This seemed nothing less than a total failure. In Awake, Hatmaker shares what happened when she found herself lost at sea and how she made it to shore. In candid, surprisingly funny vignettes spanning 40 years of girlhood, marriage, and parenting, she lays bare the disorienting upheaval of midlife, the implosion of a marriage, the unraveling of religious and cultural systems, and the grief that accompanies unasked for change. Drawing on all her resources from without and from within, Hatmaker dares to question the systems beneath the whole house of cards, and to reckon with the myths, half-truths, and lies that brought her to this point. Intrigue. How much is it? Okay, so yes, my other book for my March TBR is going to be Awake by Jen Hatmaker, a memoir. Okay, so now that I have spent all that freaking time just deciding 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 4 books. Oh, excuse me. All right, now I still have to pick out 2 more. So we have my book club read. We have my jellyfish challenge read. Yeah, let me go back. Yeah, we have my jellyfish challenge read. We just picked my 2 books for my reading bucket list. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's 4. Okay, I just had to, I don't know why I had to like count again randomly to like make sure. So now, I guess technically the next 2 books I pick are gonna be more of like I want to read them, but I'm going to pick 1 book from up here. Well, plus these 2 are up there. I'm going to pick 1 book from up here from my books that I want to get read, and then I'm gonna pick another book, I think from something of my newer books that I've bought. Okay, so actually, do I want to read one of these? The 2 books that I had to take off right there are When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker and Gothicana by Runix, yeah. Okay, I'm not sure though. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've had this for a while and I want to read it, and I definitely want to read this because I'm pretty sure the next one, I think it's still coming out in April. I'd have to look up to make sure, but I'm pretty sure the next book for this, The Ballad of Fallen Dragons, comes out in April the 28th. Although maybe since it's coming out on April 28th, maybe I could save this as a read for next month so that I can read this and then go straight into it. Because if I go on ahead and read it in March, then I have to wait almost another whole month until the next book comes out. So I think I'll save this for next month. Okay. I don't think I'm gonna read Gothicana right now. I think I want to pick one of my other books that I know I've had for a while. Let's see. I think I'm gonna pick The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. Oh my gosh, it's here at the bottom of the stack. Okay, wish me luck. Hold on a second. had to do that quick. Okay. Actually, I had started reading this a while ago, and I got to chapter 3, so I only read the first 2 chapters. And don't get me wrong, I was definitely interested in reading more, but I think time just got away from me, and I was reading so much on my Kindle app on my phone that I just let it keep getting away from me, and I didn't go back and pick it up. So I'm gonna take this Walmart receipt that was in there. Okay, and this will be my 5th read for my March TBR. Dang, I have to buy my other 3 books so far. I only have 2 physical books so far for my TBR. Although this other one that I'm gonna pick will also be a physical book. So, what do I want to pick? Okay, I'm not gonna pick one from up there. I'm gonna pick one of these new ones that I've gotten. Okay, which means I can't pick this. This was on the top because I just had it in my hand. But no, this is part of my books that I've had for a while, so I'm just gonna stick it up there. Okay. Let's see. I could pick The Wayward by Adam Johnson. You know what? I can't read Write Me For You by Tilly Cole. I cannot read that right now because I know it's just gonna be sad and upset me. I could finally read Brimstone by Callie Hart because I haven't I haven't read that yet. I'm kind of scared to read it though. Let's see, what else do I have? I have The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy by Bright Knightley. I'm sorry, I just said Bright. It's Bridget. I could go on ahead and read The Night and the Moth. When does... Okay, the next one doesn't come out until September. I could read A Vow and Vengeance, King of Wrath, Before We Came, An Archaean Inheritance, In the Shadows, Enchantra, The Echo of Old Books. Honestly, I have a lot that I could read. What's on my other stack there? Okay. No, some of those look good too. And then I had my stack over there by the bed. I could start reading Dungeon Crawler Carl. I could read Scarred by Emily McIntyre. I haven't read One Dark Window yet. I also have A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping. I keep looking back at that book though. I kind of want to read it and know if it's good. Although I also kind of want to read that. Okay. Hold on. Let me set you guys over there. Sorry. Ooh, I kind of want to read that too. Okay. It's going to be between these 3 books. So, Before We Came by Sloane St. James is the first book in the Lakes Hockey series. Honestly, haven't heard much about it. I don't really know if this author has a lot of other books. Like, I don't know anything about this book series or this author. I just saw it at the store. The back sounded really good, and so I was super interested. Let's see, King of Wrath by Anna Huang. I've been staring at this series in the store for like ever and ever, and I finally decided to buy the first one so I could try it out. I'm kind of wondering if that time is now. And then Enchantra by Kylie Smith. Yeah. I have read Phantasma. I really liked it. And you know, this is the only other book in the series. It's only a duology. So I could go on ahead and read this because these two, even though they both sound very good and I would like to read them, they are both book one of series. And I think there's at least 5, maybe, I can't remember, but I know there's at least 4 books in this series. I think there's 5. So if I really liked this and wanted to keep reading, I'd have 4 more books to read. And this is the only one I bought so far, so I don't have any of the other books. And likewise, I actually don't know how many books are going to be in this series. But again, it is the start to a series, so probably at least 4, maybe 5. It's a dark sports romance series, I think. So, well, it might not be a dark sports romance, but it would be another start to a series. You know what? I think that's made the decision for me. I don't want to start something. I don't want to start a series yet. So I think it's going to be Enchantra. And we're going to see if it's as good as Phantasma. Dang. Okay. So I have at least 3 books for my March TBR, and I'll have to buy the other 3 books. But honestly though, if I order them today, they'll probably be here by this weekend. So, but yeah, so Enchantra by Kylie Smith, The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston, right? Yeah, Poston, and Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Manis, Carrie M. I'm just gonna say M because I cannot keep butchering her last name. And then my other 3, which I'm going to be buying, Awake by Jen Hatmaker, The Ensemble by Aja Gabel, and Under the Dome by Stephen King. Wow, I have such a crazy range of books for this TBR. I mean, dark romance, contemporary romance, and then I also think Kingdom of the Wicked is considered dark romance. Okay, so these are kind of like in my normal range of books that I would be reading. But then my other 3, Under the Dome, The Ensemble, and Awake, are all like, whoa, like other genres that I would not normally read, if ever. So honestly, 3 and 3, I think that's a pretty good ratio. Okay. Well, I think that is all for my March TBR. I will come back to you guys with more reading updates. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed seeing what I'm going to be reading for my March TBR. If you have questions, comments, you want to talk about any of the books that I've had in this video, leave a comment. And I hope you come back. Bye! Hey everyone. So I just wanted to give a quick reading update. It is Sunday. I just finished eating a little breakfast after I got home from work. Sorry, my ear is itching. Anyway, I just wanted to give a quick reading update. I will be editing this afterwards and trying to upload it, although I am so tired from work. So while I'm hopefully gonna get this edited and then uploaded, if I do not finish editing it and uploading it today, it will be done tomorrow morning. So I just wanted to give the rest of my reading updates from my February TBR. I am very disappointed in myself this month. My TBR did not, excuse me, it did not go well. I mean, I was interested in reading all the books that I picked out for February. I don't know what it was. I guess I just spent so much time at the beginning of the month finishing Emily Wilde that then when I started reading these books, I don't know. So you guys know, but I did finish reading The First Time I Saw Him by Laura Dave. Loved it. Great read, 5 stars. It's just one of those things where it's like suspenseful and mystery, and you're finding out more about the past that you didn't find out in the first book. And even though there's nothing like the plot and the timeline of events it shows is complex, I guess the story itself that is happening isn't complex. I don't know if you would consider it complex. I don't consider it complex. But it was entertaining and interesting, and it kept me interested to read. I literally read it in a day and a half. I easily could have read it in one day, but I did end up sleeping, going to work, and then the next day when I came home, I finished reading the rest of it. Great book, loved it. I was so happy that I finished it because then I felt like I was doing something on my TBR. I'm sorry, I have not read anything else in cows. I just haven't done it. I have no desire to read this. I honestly don't know if I'm gonna finish it or if I'm gonna DNF it. And I really don't like to DNF books. I mean, if I start reading the first chapter of a book, trying out, seeing if I like it, and if it's not really catching me, and like I said, in the first chapter, anywhere to the first 5 to 10 chapters, then I don't keep reading. But sometimes I'm interested enough that even if I don't want to keep reading it, I'm still kind of interested, so I finish it anyway. And I do not normally DNF books. I think I only DNF'd 3, maybe 4 books last year out of the 400 books I read. Well, I guess technically I didn't count them in the total. So anyway, I just don't usually DNF books. I just usually finish them and then I'm like, oh, that book was crap, not reading it again, or that book just wasn't that good to me, but I read it so I know what happened, but I'm not interested in reading it again. Like that. But this, my family is finally coming down to visit this weekend, so technically this is my niece's book that I got for her. This is one she specifically asked for. The other one I got her that you guys saw in a previous video, she didn't specifically ask for that book. That was just oh, people who bought this also bought this, so I bought that. So, but she asked for this book, and I'm a little concerned that she asked for it. But I would like to try and read at least a little bit more. I mean, because it was kind of getting more understandable the more I read, but it's still it's just not something that I want to read. But I am going to try and read a few more chapters before they get here Thursday evening. So if I haven't read significantly more or anything like that, or I just really just can't keep getting into it, then I'm just gonna DNF it. I'm gonna give it to her and I'm gonna say, hey, I read the first how many ever chapters. I didn't really like it, but you might, apparently, since you asked for it. So yeah, that's how that went. The Secret Garden, you guys. But anyway, I did read a little bit more in this the other day. I just hadn't read more. So when I first started reading it, I read the first 2 chapters. And then the next night, I read the next 2 chapters. So technically right now, I am on chapter 5. It's been good so far. I just also started reading Caught Up by Navessa Allen. So I was kind of going between the 2. So like I had read a chapter and then I read a couple chapters in this and then I put it down and then I read the 4th chapter in this and then I read a couple more chapters in this. And then I just kind of didn't go back to this because I was like really starting to get into this because I am on chapter 14, which is page 123. So I would say it's a little more than halfway. I've got like this little piece and then I would be halfway into the book. I would consider halfway being like chapter 20. I mean, chapter 19. So I'm, let's see, 171, 123. So yeah, I'm about 50 pages from being halfway in this book. I would definitely like to try and finish reading it today or Monday. I would also like to try and finish reading The Secret Garden. I mean, I'm not super far into this like I am into this, but I'm still really liking it. It's like an interesting, light, like refreshing read. So I definitely want to keep going with that. Keep going with this. And unfortunately, I did not even get to start Calabasas by R.F. Kuang. I would still also really like to read this because it sounded good. I've heard good things about it. And honestly, this was actually one of the ones I was more excited about for my February TBR. And then Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. What can I say? I am 30% of the way through the audio. So I think I've still got like 14 hours to listen to. So I'm a third of the way into that. A third of the way into Caught Up. I'm like, I would say I'm like a fifth or a quarter of the way into The Secret Garden. I mean, I started all of my books except for Calabasas. And then the only one I finished was the first time I saw him. So I'm technically in the middle of 4 books. But I can honestly say within the next few days, I could see myself finishing these 2. But I can't, I'm gonna try, but I can't really see myself finishing Cows. And honestly, I think if I really had to give it like a time frame, I think it would take me at least another 2 weeks to listen to Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, unless something in it just really captures me. So my February TBR kind of tanked. So yeah, I think that's where I'm at. I'm gonna try and read a few more chapters in Cows, but honestly, probably gonna DNF it. I definitely want to finish Caught Up and The Secret Garden. So I think I'm just gonna tack it on to my March TBR. Wow, Wow. Okay. So yeah, those are my updates for February. I am sorry it is not better. Honestly, I'm really kind of disappointed in myself, but I'm also not like largely surprised at myself, I guess. This February TBR was like so out there for me that I don't even know how to explain it. It was just so out there for me. So I'm not surprised that I started every book but then only finished one. But yeah. So I guess we'll see how March goes. I hope it goes better. So yeah, I think that's all I have. Thanks for coming to my channel. Thank you for watching. If this is your first time, please come back. I'll get better about my TBR, I promise. Okay, bye everyone.